Released. CBS's Haley Ott in Tel Aviv.
In Gaza, where local health officials say over 67,000 people have been killed in this war, and the humanitarian crisis has reached a real breaking point, our colleagues report scenes of relief and celebration that even though there's still a ways to go in terms of the next phase of the White House proposal, there's hope that this horrible chapter that's taken place over the last 2 years may be coming to a close.
Today, a federal court is expected to weigh in on the deployment of National Guard troops in Illinois. CBS's Ian Lee is at an ICE facility outside Chicago.
There's a handful of protesters. There's a heavy police presence. There's a fence back there. Behind that fence, we have been able to see some of these National Guard troops.
Lawmakers are openly showing frustration with no end in sight to the government shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson lashes out at the Senate's top Democrat.
Chuck Schumer did an interview last night and bragged. This is what he said, quote, he had the audacity to say, quote, every day of this shutdown gets better for us, his party.
The Democratic frontrunner in California's race for governor is under fire. Newly released videos have critics questioning her temperament.
The latest video obtained by Politico is of then Congresswoman Katie Porter taping a message for the Biden administration when one of her staffers appears in the background.
Get out of my shot.
In another video, Porter takes exception to CBS Sacramento reporter Julie Watt's follow-up questions about how she plans to win over Trump voters in California.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Thank you.
At least one other Democratic candidate in the governor's race is calling on Porter to drop out. Another released a 3-minute television ad made up mostly of Porter's testy exchange with the reporter. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Overseas, correspondent Vicky Barker reports on a development in the story of a French woman victimized by her husband in a stunning rape case.
The only man to challenge his conviction for raping an unconscious Giselle Pellico has lost his appeal and seen his initial 9-year sentence increased to 10. Another 50 men are already serving prison terms, including Pellico's ex-husband, the man who drugged and trafficked her without her knowledge for years.
Turning Point USA, the group founded by the late Charlie Kirk, says it will offer a website alternative to the Bad Bunny halftime show at the Super Bowl. Checking Wall Street's. Right now the Dow is down 124 points. NASDAQ is down 43. S&P is down 15. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Good morning. We're going to go straight to traffic because we are still pretty heavy this morning. We will start in Tacoma. We're very heavy on northbound I-5 all the way from about the Car Museum up through the Fife Curve. It's going to take you quite a few extra minutes to get through there. There is a crash right there at the 500 at the South 54th interchange. That is slowing things down, and again, very heavy. You do get a break up through Tukwila, and then the northbound I-5 traffic starts back up again right at Beacon Hill. You've got a crash there that's slowing things down, and just the rain. Drivers it's rainy and dark, so keep those headlights on. West Seattle Bridge is backed up. 509, 99 is also backed up. 405 is backed up through the S-curves, and that merge with 167 is also backing up. Let's get to some travel times. Federal Way to Seattle's 52 minutes at this point, which is better than earlier, but still not ideal for this time of the morning. Linwood to Seattle, 48 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 39 minutes on 405. And Bothell to Bellevue, 38 minutes on 405 southbound. Traffic report brought to you by Kia of Everett. During the month of October, for every new Kia we sell, Kia of Everett will donate to local breast cancer research and support programs. Let's do this. Kia of Everett, simple, easy, fun.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Seattle police are investigating a shooting in South Seattle. It happened just after 11 o'clock last night near South Winthrop Street and Chiste Boulevard. Officers found a 40-year-old man with serious injuries to his head and face. Right now, they don't have a suspect. If you know anything, detectives would like you to call. Police officers will not be posted back at Garfield High School in Seattle.
This motion has failed with a vote of 2 yeses and 5 noes.
The school board had proposed a school engagement officer after a student was shot to death in Garfield High School's parking lot earlier this year, or last year. The officer would have focused on crime prevention and building relationships. It looks like we'll have another big closure on the east side this weekend. KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors details the southbound 405 closure between Bellevue and Renton.
WashDOT continues their onslaught of road work before the deluge of fall rains arrive, and that includes another full closure of southbound 405 starting at Coal Creek Parkway down to Northeast 30th. Crews will be busy all weekend with drainage work, excavating, paving, and a traffic switch. The closures start Friday night at midnight through 4 a.m. Monday. A detour sends drivers to Coal Creek Parkway. We can also expect heavier than normal volumes on southbound I-5 through Seattle. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
What a difference just a few days make in the weather. The turn to autumnal weather also means mountains are expecting their first snows. According to the National Weather Service, Stevens Pass and the North Cascades are expected to get some snow, potentially 3 to 6 inches at 5,000 feet. Starting this weekend, Snoqualmie Pass can also expect to see some snow. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy, chances for showers, high of 61. Overnight dips into the 40s. It's 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Happy Thursday, October 9th. If you're new to the show, thank you for being here. Where you been? And if you always come to the show, thank you for always coming back. We got a packed show today, but don't worry, I can't do this by myself. My main man, Nick, is here. Nick, good morning to you, brother.
Good morning, man.
You know we're going to be talking about it in a second. you know we are. Chef, good morning to you, brother.
How come I'm not your main man?
I mean,
I want to be your squeeze.
Do I always say Nick? Do I say Nick is my main man? And do I get real professional with you, Chef?
I don't know. I just noticed it this morning.
But in the morning times, I give you like all different types of, when Chef calls for the production meeting, what's good? You know what I'm saying? What's happening? All that kind of stuff.
I'll let it go.
All right, cool. Hey, so by the way, I'm just going to let you know, here are the top stories. We are going to be talking about a decision that happened here with Seattle Public Schools. When we talk about that decision, we're going to have a follow-up to that conversation because at 9:33, my former military school resource officer is going to join us at 9:30. And that's right. I think Chef might ask him how I was as a kid, but more importantly, he wants to talk about resource officers in school right now. Top stories of the day brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
It was a brutal loss yesterday for the Mariners, 9-3 to the Detroit Tigers. I am not going to torture any of you with the low lights, but with the series tied 2-2, the Mariners come back to town here Friday. They'll play in prime time for a winner-take-all game. And gee, it was looking good. It was looking good. And then I looked down at my phone after about 10 minutes halfway through. What happened?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I was just on Seattle's Morning News, Chef, and here's what I can say. You buy lotto tickets sometimes when the winnings is over, $10 million, $100 million, $50 million. And when you buy that lotto ticket, you're sitting around and you're having conversations with family and friends. Oh, I'm winning this one. And if I win, what would you do? Chef, what would you do if you won the lottery? Would you come to work tomorrow? The bottom line is when you buy that lotto ticket, you're always thinking about the future and what's going to happen. And, well, I messed up. I was that person. I started to think about next week. I started to think about, okay, which game am I going to go to? Let me look at my schedule. Okay, I already did it. I even did that. I was getting ready to text my wife and ask her which game she wanted to go to, but I didn't even get to that. I have a friend, Deshaun Wolf, who lives in Detroit, born and raised in Detroit. We went to school together. We have a bet on this game. Whoever loses has to send the other $100 and wear opposite team's hat and shirt and go online and say, go Mariners or go Tigers.
Sure.
At 1:41 yesterday, Chef, I sent him a text and said, with my Venmo at 1:41, no response. At 1:49, I texted him back and I said, oops, did I send that too soon? And he sent back an emoji with tigers. And, man, I almost lost my mind. So I apologize. If any of y'all superstitious on that, Nick, tell the truth, bro. When you heard that story, you was kind of disappointed.
It was a little bit disappointing to me, and just the fact that it all happened so fast yesterday. We were up 3-0 in the 5th, and then just quickly the Tigers' bats got going, and I even got overconfident too. You can't help but look ahead when you're over halfway through the game, and they haven't allowed any runs.
So, Nick, you got confident too? Wait.
Let's face it, all the Mariners fans got confident in the 5th inning.
Maybe?
That was the first time the Tigers showed any life on the offense. I mean, you can't help it.
All right. I mean, they were done. They were cooked. And look, by the way, text in. Tell me to tell the truth. Were you overconfident too? But you know what? Not to get too deep, Chef, and before you move on, that's like life, man. That's life.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you can never get too high. Don't never get too low, right? You never know when the wind's gonna blow. And there it was, man. You're all confident. Yeah. You're talking stuff like I was, and then boom, reality hits.
Brutal. All right, as federal troops are deployed to Portland, Chicago, Memphis, and D.C., will Seattle be next? Mayor Bruce Harrell signed 2 executive orders yesterday meant to prepare the city and police department for federal agents, whether it be ICE or the National Guard, if or when they arrive. When it comes to ICE agents,
in the city of Seattle, will require all law enforcement officials to have visible emblems and badges that identify their agency. This legislation puts Seattle on track to be the first major city in the country to adopt a band mask on federal officers.
So the masks are supposed to be off on federal agents, and SPD will be tasked with enforcing that order. But if you do see armed masked men whisking someone into an unmarked van,
the Seattle Police Department will have clear guidance to its members on how to respond to 911 calls where masked or unidentified individuals are detaining people in the city. We want our officers to be fully trained on exactly what to do and try to leave, to the extent possible, little ambiguity in what should be done.
As for the Guard, the mayor said the city is preparing legal challenges to oppose any deployment in court, and that the Guard will not be allowed to encroach on civilian law enforcement duties by SPD.
Can we all agree on this? Can we all agree that the mayor of Seattle, Bruce Harrell, is doing the right thing? The mayor signing these orders are basically saying that if federal troops ever come to Seattle, that SPD, our own police department, will not be the backup dancers. The mayor has drawn a line basically in the sand by basically saying, hey, we here, we protect the immigrants, we protect the protests, we protect accountability. Imagine this, and I know how you all are about your own home, about my own home. If you invite someone, and if someone just intrudes, comes into your home, trying to move your furniture around, trying to paint your walls, trying to tell your kids it's time to go to bed, time to tell your kids how to behave, at what point would you say, this is my house, I run this house? And what your opinion is outside of this house is one thing, but inside of the house, you run the house. That's what the mayor is having Seattle do. That's what Chicago is having them do as well. This is our city, our rules, our people. Now, if the federal government, if the federal troops want to show up, come on and show up. But outside of 3rd and Pine or whatever, and outside of 12th and Jackson, where are you going to go? Where is it? Text in right now. Where do you want those troops to go? Because I know there's a lot of people that says, oh, they need to go right there. Where do you want to go? You want to go down to that driveway down in Portland that's all over social media with the guy with the chicken suit on? So, again, I love that the mayor has done this. I love that the mayor is saying we have a very good police department here, which, wait, you guys do agree that we do have a good police department, right? You guys do agree that we do have a good police department that is able to handle things, right? Okay, that's what I figured.
I don't think we needed federal troops during WTO. And when they're being sent from one state, troops from one state to another state against the will of the people, in the will of the government within that state, that's a problem. As for why cities like Portland or Seattle are being targeted with federal troops, well, it could be that they're seen as Antifa hotspots by President Trump. He held a roundtable at the White House yesterday on that subject. He has designated Antifa a terrorist organization. Surrounded by a cadre of right-wing influencers, Trump vowed to use, quote, the full force of the full weight of the federal government to go after the Antifa ideology. FBI Director Kash Patel said his bureau is tracking Antifa's funding networks. Attorney General Pam Bondi promised to take Antifa apart brick by brick. And Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said,
this network of Antifa is just as sophisticated as MS-13, as TDA, as ISIS, as Hezbollah, as Hamas, as all of them. They are just as dangerous. They have an agenda to destroy us, just like the other terrorists we've dealt with for many, many years.
And this local right-wing influencer told the president that a new report from the Discovery Institute, for which he works, made a shocking connection.
I'm also a senior fellow at Discovery Institute in Seattle, and I cover far-left extremism as well as the homeless drug crisis in America. And I find it oftentimes those worlds intersect. Antifa is heavily embedded in the homeless and housing nonprofit sector. In many cases, the homeless industrial complex is running cover for Antifa.
One more little clip here. This influencer told the president that the mainstream media's failure to acknowledge the threat of Antifa opened her eyes and cured her from a self-diagnosed illness.
I'm living proof that you can recover from TDS. I had strong Trump derangement syndrome for probably 8 years. This is one of the reasons I recovered from it. And by the way, it's much better to not have TDS. I'm happier, I'm healthier, more successful. I even think I got a little more attractive after I got rid of my Trump derangement syndrome. Yes. You know, I'm a reporter in Seattle, and frankly, I could not care any less what any of you have to say about this meeting. Could not care any less. We're not here for you. I'm not here to convince any of you that Antifa is a real thing. Because if you have not come to that conclusion by now, you are never going to come to that conclusion because you don't want to see it.
Hey, Chef, before I get into this, what does Antifa stand for?
That's short for anti-fascist.
Oh, okay. So I just want to make sure I got this right. So the White House held a roundtable and basically making Antifa out to be this huge organized threat.
Like Hamas, ISIS, etc. Yeah.
Right. And if you guys remember, hey, do they still got critical race theory? Is that still a threat? Okay. Let me get back on track. It's interesting because first, let's be clear. Antifa is not like ISIS. It's not like Hamas. It is basically this whole loose idea. Like you said, Chef was so nice to tell me what Antifa really stood for and everything like that. But it is also a distraction what is happening. These roundtables and this discussion about Antifa is a roundtable to help distract you, me, from the real issues. Now, we want to talk about hate groups that are organized, hate groups with extremism that's continued to grow, the injustices that are baked into this system that we live in every day. Let's discuss them. Ku Klux Klan, they still exist. The Patriot Front, they still exist. There's a national socialist movement that glorifies Hitler here in this country. They exist. What about the Oath Keepers? You heard of them? They exist. What about the 3%ers? They exist. You know, the 3%ers that were a lot of them that stormed the Capitol? What happened to everybody that stormed the Capitol on January 6th? Oh, that's right. They were pardoned. How about the Westboro Baptist Church that spreads hate in God's name? That's a hate group. How about the border militias that go down there? Let's talk about those groups. It reminds me of, like, let's just say you are living in a nice neighborhood in which nothing ever happens in your community. It's so nice. And then one night, somebody comes in and somebody robs the house. Pearls get clutched. Oh my goodness, they just robbed the house. So the next day, everybody's talking about it. People are talking. People are assuming. People are pointing fingers, and you're pointing fingers at strangers. Billy says, I think it was them. Todd says, I think it was them. I think it was all those people. And you're like, we got to do something. So what they do is they do a neighborhood watch where they are on duty. Meanwhile, you have the one guy that's really in charge, and he's like, yeah, it's going to be them. I want you to watch for them. I'm going to set the schedule. And this person sets the schedule for the neighborhood. But the entire time, just like in scary movies, when the call for some reason is always coming from inside the house, the person that's doing the scheduling for the neighborhood to watch out for the bad guy is actually the one that's continuing to rob the house. So when we continue to have these Antifa talks, I just want to be crystal clear. You're literally chasing shadows. It looks tough. It sounds loud. But what's happening is there is a potential that you're keeping your eyes off the wrong thing. This is why Marjorie Taylor Greene is not talking about Antifa right now. Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about real things. And by the way, how am I agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene? She's talking about real things that's happening in this country. So while you all get on these distractions, just remember, there's real things going on in this country. And if you want to talk about crime, and we really want to get busy on crime, let's release the Epstein files so we can at least start right there when it comes to crime.
Gee, I think this isn't just a distraction, unfortunately. I think Antifa is a distraction, but the administration's response to it is most certainly not. Because the only defining characteristic that they can give anyone of Antifa is protests and disagreement with the current administration. This is an administration that wants to lock up governors, wants to lock up the mayor of Chicago, wants to lock up anyone basically who disagrees with them publicly and politically. It's very clear. I mean, and it's not just, hey, the far left. Remember what happens to people like Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney. They've been threatened with prosecution. They've been threatened with arrest. And, you know, if we do see ICE here in Seattle or the National Guard and their protests, I would not be shocked to see the administration blame Bruce Harrell and say that he's acting as cover for Antifa and not protecting the federal troops, just as he accused J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson in Chicago. So I'm concerned about how they're responding to it, not Antifa.
Everything over the last 9 months, this Donald Trump 2.0 has been very efficient. And what they're doing and how they are going about it has been extremely played out. It's almost like Project 2025 might have been a real thing. And the problem is that the Democrats and everybody, they were not prepared. Nobody has been prepared for a gangster in chief to be in this situation. And that is what we're having happen right now. So yesterday, Seattle School District, they have rejected bringing back police officers to Garfield High School's campus following a contentious debate. 5-2, they said no. So coming up next here on the show, my former military school resource officer is going to join us. Sergeant retired Mark Satterfield joins us next. Gee Ursula.
The Jake and Spike Show.
A couple.
Weekdays noon to 3.
That's not fair. A guy in a couple who ate dirt as a way to change the mojo for the Mariners. Kyle, in the video, it looks like you are mixing it with, I assume that's milk.
It was milk. I just thought, like, what would be the easiest thing to mix this with? I guess in the moment, maybe a beer would have been better.
Clearly it did work. I've posted plenty of TikToks before, and I've never had this happen before.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
I just learned 10% of our electricity in Washington comes from nuclear energy.
I've heard it's reliable and has a small footprint, but what about the waste?
It's not what you might think. No overflowing dumpsters or leaking barrels. Used fuel is safely stored in solid form after powering homes, schools, and businesses for years. All nuclear power plants in the U.S. store their used fuel responsibly to protect the environment.
Where can I learn more?
You can learn about nuclear energy and used fuel at energy-northwest.com. Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again, never develop cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to overaccomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an e-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things will change after October 20th, and some things won't. If you ride without a Good to Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. Having Good to Go means it'll cost less than pay by mail. Not a change. Carpoolers will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. A Good to Go pass saves you $2 on every toll. No change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills, backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan, starting with the release of all remaining hostages in Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and the withdrawal of Israeli forces. CBS News reporter Robert Berger says that many in Israel see the U.S. and President Donald Trump as the reason the deal was able to be reached.
This wouldn't have happened without Steve Witkoff, Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. They came up with this 20-point plan and President Trump was able to get all the Arab states on board, or at least many of them. And that's what pushed Hamas over the finish line.
President Donald Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to Illinois will face scrutiny at a pivotal court hearing hours after a small number of Texas Guard members started protecting federal property in the Chicago area. U.S. District Judge April Perry will hear arguments today on a request to block the deployment of members of the Illinois and Texas National Guards while a lawsuit challenging the move proceeds. Seattle's mayor is preparing for the possibility that troops could be sent here.
Mayor Bruce Harrell signed 2 executive orders Wednesday morning. One gets the city prepared for the potential legal battle to stop troops from coming to Seattle by firming up plans and opening communication lines between different city and state agencies.
We are ready to fight in court. We monitor what's happening in other cities and other states, and we want to be ready.
The other executive order focuses on immigration enforcement, and it includes a ban on the use of face masks by law enforcement and a requirement that all agencies operating in Seattle have visible IDs. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
We have also reached out to Harrell's opponent in the mayor race, Katie Wilson, for comment. Get ready. It's do or die for the Mariners. They'll take on the Tigers in the final 5th game of the American League Divisional Series tomorrow. If you do not already have a ticket, you'll have to check resale sites. The cheapest are going for over $200 at last check. Now let's turn to KIRO News Radio traffic. We have a serious backup in Tacoma, several miles for the multi-vehicle crash on northbound I-5 near 54th Avenue East. It's blocking 3 left lanes. There's lots of sirens, lights, fire on the scene. They're going to start reopening lanes as soon as they can after they get vehicles and debris out of the roadway. But just keep an eye on that and maybe delay your travel through that area if you can. Right now, Tacoma to SeaTac alone is 40 minutes on I-5 northbound. Federal Way to Seattle is 45 minutes. We cleared some collisions through that area. But including on the I-5 southbound express lanes at Pike Street, there was a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane. Now that appears to be out of the way. Linwood to Seattle, 41 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 31 minutes on 405 northbound, and Bothell to Bellevue, 405 southbound is 34 minutes. So definitely a few extra minutes than normal for this time of day. I'm sure the rain has something to do with that, and the surface streets are taking a toll as a result. This traffic update brought to you by Washington 811. If you are digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damages to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online at digsafewa.com. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We're going to warm up to just 61 degrees today. Chance of a shower. More shower chances tomorrow and lots of clouds with a high of 59. It is 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Good morning to you. Hey, just a reminder, at 10 o'clock, Executive of Pierce County, Ryan Mello, will join the show. We'll talk to him about this program that's pretty awesome that happened last weekend down in Pierce County. And I do want to ask him about, with the potential of federal funding being withheld, what does that mean for resources down in Pierce County? That happens at 10 o'clock. But right now, the Seattle School Board has voted down a proposal to bring one school resource officer back to Garfield High School. After Amar Murphy Payne was shot and killed last year, the Garfield community repeatedly asked for an SRO at the school. But other parents, fearing a school engagement officer roaming the halls, would intimidate students. So when that happened right there, of course,
and for someone to just come in like that's going to make it, I'm not going back to that school.
So some people think it is bad to have a resource officer in the school. I, on the other hand, don't. I came up with an amazing officer in our school, and he joins the show right now, retired Sergeant Mark Satterfield, who was in military school with me, and he was our resource officers. Good morning, Sergeant Satterfield.
Good morning, Galen.
How you doing? Good morning. Hey, real quick, your thoughts right now on that conversation. What do you think?
Well, one of the things, I thought that we had SROs in all the school system. And the good thing about them, in my mindset, is that they are professional people. They instill respect and responsibilities in the kids. They build relations with the kids, and they're also mentors. They're just not, soldiers, police officers running around. They're there for the kids, and when the kids need to talk to somebody, they can go talk to them.
So what do you say to, because the other side of things, and by the way, in the school board meeting, they voted against this 5-2. The two people that did vote yes for it actually are the longest tenured on that school board. So, Sergeant Satterfield, what would you say to those that say, hey, it's intimidating to have those officers inside of the school?
I don't see where it's really, really intimidating. Like I said, they're not there trying to be drill sergeants and running around like little robots. They're there to mentor the kids, and they add that security factor to it. And to me, it's better to have than to have not. You follow?
I do. Can you take us through in a normal day? Like, obviously, sometimes you all have the classrooms, but what are the conversations? What are some of the things that you all do that maybe we don't know about that you have with the kids inside of the school?
Building relationships, giving them somebody that they can talk to when they have problems, giving them that added security, let them know that there's no such thing as a bad student, and helping them find their way, being that positive mentor. That's the biggest thing, and that's what they do there. They build relationships with the students. They're not there to intimidate them. They build relationships, and the students feel as though they can talk to them.
And what are the teachers? How about the relationships that the officers build with the teachers inside of the school?
Oh man, it's great. It's great. It's the same way with the students. Teachers can talk to them. Students can talk to them. Now, granted, I would say 99% of the ones are doing a great job, but it's always that one. But we can't let that one deter us from doing what the right thing is.
Love it. Love it. Go ahead. What are you going to say, Sat?
I said it, and that is to have them within the school system. Now, one thing that I don't like, and I wish they would change it, some schools don't do this, but some schools have them dressed in their officer gear. I feel as though they can still carry their weapons, but being a civilian attire, polo shirt.
So, okay, hold tight. So you would rather, if the resource officer is going to be in school, you would rather them take off the uniform. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because they can kind of blend in more. But
wait a minute, Sergeant Satterfield.
Okay.
You, when I was in school, you wore a uniform.
Yeah, but you went to a military, and we all wore shoes.
Oh, yeah, good point. That's a good point.
All right. So, Sergeant Satterfield, I will just I'll go ahead and take the place of people who make this argument in the school board meetings. These are well-meaning white folk of my delegation who believe themselves to be allies, and they will testify in front of the school board that, hey, a lot of people in the community view law enforcement as an enforcement mechanism, as law enforcement in the school is going to provide a direct pipeline from school to the criminal justice system, and that they're not there to keep kids safe. They're there to arrest the bad ones. Now, was that ever an issue with you at your school? I mean, what was your experience with discipline? What did that mean for you as a resource officer?
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to track what you just said. They're there. Say they're going to there to.
Yeah, some people believe that that resource officers are there not to help the kids, but to arrest the bad ones and take them from school and put them right into prison. What did discipline look like for you? What would you do with a wayward kid at your school as a resource officer?
Well, first of all, I don't think the ones that you're talking about ever went to the schools and actually had conversation with the guys. You know, they're not there to arrest them. They're mentors. And they're there to mentor. And the caveat that we get with them being there, if their situation came up, we would have somebody there to go ahead and take care of it. Mm-hmm. You know, all the school shootings and problems we have in school, we have somebody there not only to mentor and talk to them, but also to handle that particular problem.
Well, Sergeant Satterfield, man, we thank you for coming on, because I felt that it was best. Like when I heard about the decision, I was very disappointed, because I believe that resource officers in school 99% of the time are a phenomenal thing. And some don't agree. So I figured I would call and bring you on. Is there anything? Look, there's people that want to know. Go ahead, Chef.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you get out of here just yet, because I got to know. You knew Gee from a pretty young age, and he told us yesterday on the show that he didn't receive a single detention his entire time that he was in military school, which kind of led us to believe that, you know, he was a golden child. Can you tell us what Gee was really like as a young man?
I don't really have any bad stories. Gee was a leader at a very. He had the art of influencing people to do what they do without bullying or chastisement. He just influenced them, and a lot of people followed him. He was a great basketball player, and I like to say apples don't fall too far from the trees. His father was a phenomenal man. And if you look at his children, they're good children. So he was just a good person overall. I have a lot of respect for him.
You know what? I'd rather hear that than some dirt. That's pretty cool.
Hey, Sack, come on, tell him, man. I didn't get in trouble. Would you tell him?
No, he didn't get in trouble.
All right.
You know, that doesn't say he didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't get in trouble.
Oh, okay. hey, one last thing, Sack. I don't know if the resource officers can make kids do push-ups the way you used to make others do push-ups.
Well, I still do it in the job I'm doing now. You know, but listen, I let the kids know. I don't ask them to do anything that I can't do. If I say do 15, if I can't do 15, then it's time for me to go ahead and stop doing what I'm. And I don't use it as a punishment. Because they get
Well, Sergeant Satterfield, you're cutting out. Love you, bro. I'll call you here soon today. Thank you for jumping on. Coming up next here on the show, Would You Rather? Gee Ursula.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
You could do that now. No, I'm not there yet. Getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube, weekdays 3 to 7, and download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
Drive with purpose this October at Kia of Everett, where every car you buy helps fuel the fight against breast cancer. For every new Kia we sell, we're donating to local breast cancer research and support programs. Join us in making a difference and get unbeatable deals on the full Kia lineup. From the all-electric EV6 to the family-ready Telluride, visit us at Kia of Everett and KiaofEverett.com.
The best drive you'll ever take is to Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game on October 20. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Let's get right to it.
Let me make something crystal clear. This one truly scares me.
It's time to make Ursula uncomfortable.
Now, here on the Gee and Ursula Show, you can't just have heavy news. And, we had a little heavy news at the top, and people says, I'm never listening to you again. And then they text back in the next hour. So here we go. Would you rather never have to pay for gas again or never have to pay for airplane flights?
Gas. Easy. I don't fly that often.
Nick?
Never pay for gas again, because then you could go on more flights, because I'm driving a lot lately. Going to and from work, man.
Okay. I like that.
On the other hand, it's like free vacations.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to pay for the flight. You can go anywhere.
Yeah. Would you rather live with no Wi-Fi for a year or no AC or heat for a year?
Wi-Fi.
Nick?
I'm going to go no Wi-Fi because it gets really tough if it's too hot or too cold. Plus, you could just use your cell phone for the data.
Oh, my goodness. You guys are crazy. I'll go no AC or heat for a year.
Are you serious? Do you know what it's like to be in a house that's 50 degrees for weeks on end?
It's funny you say that. Across the street in Indiana, my boy Rob, his parents ended up buying a house across the street from the school we were at, and they did not turn on the heat.
Ever?
In Indiana. They would do a little fire stuff right there, and you have to bundle up.
Oh, it's a different story.
So if you're not in the room with the fireplace, like you can see your breath. Wow.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Okay. Would you rather be able to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
I would want to speak every language fluently. If you ever have an experience of traveling abroad and speaking someone's language to them or speaking someone's language here when they don't expect you to, the amount of hospitality and gratitude and connection that it brings is amazing. And also, I think it would be heartbreaking to talk to animals.
Right.
Because it would be impossible to justify the way that we treat animals if we could communicate with them and understand their perspective.
Well, I'd imagine with the way people demonize immigrants here in this country, I'd imagine that there's going to be a whole lot of people not going to visit other countries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't want to go down to Mexico. You wouldn't want to go to Cancun or Puerto Vallarta. Why would you want to go there?
Killed if you go there.
You know what I mean? So I'm sure we're going to see, Ursula, when she does the top stories, we're going to see a huge decrease, right? Because you don't want to go down to those places. Okay. Nick, how about you?
I want to speak all the languages. I feel like that's the selfish answer because, it's not about what you know, who you know. So I feel like you have all those connections around the world if you know all the languages.
Okay, I got to tell you, I want to talk to animals. I want to hear what they're thinking. I want to know what my cat. I think I know what my cats are saying constantly. I think I do, but I just would like to be sure. Right? I would love to know that. I love it in the morning time, like 4-something in the morning. They round up. They know that I'm getting ready to get up, and they be waiting right there.
There's something it's crazy because you can tell that animals can communicate with us. Like they can communicate their wants and needs. But they have to be thinking in pictures, not language. Like we think of words. Everything in their brain is thinking in pictures. To be able to see the world like that through their eyes would be incredible.
Good
And
stuff.
I don't know if they could even tell you anything other than I'm hungry or I want to eat you if it's a wild animal.
Okay, last one. This one might be, I don't know, this is subjective. Obviously, all of them are. Would you rather spend a year chasing money or a year chasing purpose? I told you.
Purpose.
Purpose?
Yeah.
Nick?
Lasting.
Purpose can have money along the way. Money, you know, you can go through some tough times in that path. So I'll take the purpose.
You know, it's interesting. I thought both of you guys would choose chasing money. I was wrong.
No, man. Like the biggest one of the biggest problems I think with young men, especially today, is that they don't have a purpose. They don't have a sense of connection. They don't feel like they have a path in life where they're valued and know they can contribute.
Chef, Nick, I for sure thought you'd say money.
No. I know some people who don't like their jobs, but they make a decent amount of money, but they're not happy with where they work because it's not enjoyable.
I'm with you guys. Chasing purpose. There we go. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, Pierce County Executive Ryan Mello is going to join the show. There is a thing that's called Opportunity Knocks. It plays on PBS. I'll tell you what the connection is to Pierce County and the connection also with the executive, Ryan Mello. He joins us next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Y'all know I've worked here at KIRO Radio for nearly 4 decades, and now that I've just turned 60, retirement is within striking distance. I want to travel, I want to spend more time with my family, and like many of you, I want to know that the money that I've worked so hard for is going to last. And that's why I turned to Trajan Wealth. Hi there, it's Ursula Reutin. At Trajan Wealth, they are fiduciary advisors, family-owned and veteran-led. That means they're not tied to one product or service. They're going to review my pension plan, my 401k, and everything else that I've been able to squirrel away and show me how to maximize growth. And what I appreciate is that they listen first, then build a plan around me. No cookie cutter approach, just guidance that I could trust as I head into this next chapter. To find out how they can help you, call Trajan Wealth today at 206-656-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com. That's Trajan spelled Trajan. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
The John Curley Show.
I can't wait till I get a little older, be the really crotchety old guy, getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees in transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
When you're hiring,
Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
We are Harnish Auto Family, and this month we've partnered with Mobile Memo Northwest. For every test drive you take, we'll make a donation on your behalf. Come on over this month and stand with us in the fight against breast cancer. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump hails the approval of Phase 1 of his Gaza peace plan.
We reached a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East, something that people said was never going to be done.
President Trump says we ended the war in Gaza and even bigger created
everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East.
The deal calls for Hamas to release all remaining hostages, which the president says will happen.
They should be released on Monday or Tuesday.
And he expressed gratitude to the countries which helped achieve this.
To the leaders of Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey for helping us reach this incredible day.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Trump indicated he'll try to go to Egypt next week for the signing of the deal. Israel's cabinet is expected to okay it today. The UN's aid chief says 170,000 metric tons of assistance is ready to go in Gaza. CBS's Robert Berger in Jerusalem.
When the hostages are released, which is expected early next week, I think we will see a huge surge in a humanitarian aid. That's part of the deal. Hundreds of trucks coming across the border. There's already plans to do that. The UN will be heavily involved in that.
Here at home, a federal court is considering the deployment of the National Guard in Illinois. CBS's Ian Lee is at an ICE facility outside Chicago.
President Trump has said he may consider sidestepping local officials and to activate troops by invoking the Insurrection Act. It is a 19th century law that allows the president to activate troops to combat acts of rebellion.
Day 9 of the government shutdown, and for furloughed workers living paycheck to paycheck, it's a time of tension and uncertainty. Lee Sinclair is with a food bank in Charlottesville, Virginia, where business could pick up.
There are about 7,000 jobs that are tied to or influenced by these federal shutdowns. For those people, they're living in a state of uncertainty right now and trying to figure out what they're going to do.
Russia's leader says his forces brought down an Azerbaijani jetliner last year by mistake.
In his first ever such public admission, Vladimir Putin has said Russia's air defense forces were to blame for last December's disaster, which left 38 people dead. The real target, he said, was a Ukrainian drone. The jetliner, about to land in Chechnya, essentially got caught in the crossfire. Putin's admission and his pledge to compensate the victims, an apparent attempt to ease tensions with his neighbor. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Wall Street, the Dow is down 247. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
A disturbing incident at a Seattle school this week. We'll tell you more about that in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic, and we will start with the good news. The collision that was blocking 3 lanes on I-5 northbound in Tacoma at 54th Avenue East has been cleared. The freeway is fully reopened, and that backup is subsiding. There were miles of backups, and traffic is starting to get into the yellow rather than the red. And you're clear most of the way into Seattle. You start slowing as you get into downtown about the West Seattle Bridge. So that's a lot better than even half an hour ago. Let's see, Tacoma to Seattle is 51 minutes, about as you'd expect for this time of day. Federal Way to Seattle, 39 minutes, so that shows a little bit of comparison. Linwood to Seattle in the southbound direction, 32 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 25 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue on 405 southbound, 29 minutes. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Seattle police arrest what they say was an intoxicated 60-year-old man after he barged his way into a Seattle school and later pulled a gun on a 15-year-old sitting in a car. It all happened Tuesday afternoon at the Seattle World School on East Union Street.
Obviously, anybody that's out of control and they have a firearm creates a potentially dangerous situation for anybody involved.
Detective Eric Munoz says no one was injured. The Seattle School District has voted down a proposal to bring police officers back to Garfield High School. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey says the school board rejected the pilot program 5-2.
If passed, one school engagement officer inside the halls of Garfield High School would have focused on crime prevention and building relationships. Instead, resignation from board director Gina Topp.
This is not an easy topic. I think that there's more work to be done here.
The controversial topic was punctuated after the shooting death of Garfield student Amar Murphy Payne last year. Many parents considered an officer a deterrent. Others think he or she would do more to intimidate students. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
4 King County Corrections Academy recruits have been expelled for not meeting eligibility requirements. This happened after a whistleblower filed a complaint with the State Criminal Justice Training Commission. They claimed King County violated hiring laws by employing more than 100 corrections officers who were non-citizens and did not have valid work authorizations. This was first reported by Jason Rance on Seattle Red 770 AM. The commission is investigating. A 29-year-old Auburn man accused of breaking into the state capitol building has been charged. Troopers say the incident was not politically motivated and may be linked to mental health issues. Game 4 started off so well for the Mariners.
Swinging a line drive into right field, base hit. Arozarena being waved, and he hits third base, and he's strolling home now.
But they couldn't keep that lead after last night's loss. They'll have a winner-take-all game tomorrow, 5:08 p.m. in Seattle at T-Mobile Park. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Only getting up to about 61 today. Those clouds stick around and thicken up overnight. Chances for showers today and more tomorrow with a high of 59. It's 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, October 9th. Grateful that you guys are hanging out with the show. If you're new to the show, thank you for coming here and hanging out with us. And if you're always here, part of the show, appreciate you being back with us. Nick is here, don't you worry, and so is my main man, Chef. We got a lot to go over in this hour, including at 10:30. We're going to have a discussion on people being happily married in an unorthodox way, if you will. We'll discuss that at 10:30, but right now, let's get to it.
What's new at 10?
Now, how can families who are struggling to make ends meet find a way out of their financial challenges or make their way into housing? There's so many people that we talk about that are in our region who are fighting day after day to provide basic needs for families. And I'm hearing about a new program that happened down in Pierce County last weekend that probably helped people step up. Joining us right now is Pierce County Executive Ryan Mello. Executive, thank you for joining the show, brother.
Always good to see you, G.
Yes, sir. Hey, before I get into that, I want to ask you about what happened down in Pierce County. I want to just take this time before we dive in. I want to ask this. How did you find your way into public service? When did you know that's something you wanted to do?
Well, thanks again for having me, G. I think for me, my calling to public service started right out of college. Moving here to Hawaii, going to school here in Tacoma, And I joined the Domestic Peace Corps right out of college, the AmeriCorps program. And I loved it so much. Most people do 1 year of AmeriCorps if they do it. I decided to do 2 years because of what I was learning, the people I was meeting, and the impact I thought I was having. So my service in the AmeriCorps program allowed me to meet so many people. I was charged with programming to help young people really learn about their ability to give back to this community long into their life. So I got to design programs to do just that, help young people get into giving back to their community and have that lifelong ethic of community service and giving back. So it was through those many experiences and meeting so many wonderful people making a difference here in this community that I began to really think about how could I, over time, really up my game and up my level of community impact. And learning about policymaking, ability to solve problems at a policy level, really got me excited.
Yeah, I'm glad you was doing that because when I was your age that time, I was just thinking about jumbo jacks with some tacos. So before we continue, also follow up to that. So now that you are in this position, right, and you're in this position, this is where you are, and they know who you are. How do you, when you went into this job as executive, what did you think would be your biggest concern, right? And actually now you're in the job, what is your biggest concern?
Yeah. Not being new to county government, switching roles, coming from the legislative branch of county government, moving to the executive, serving countywide as the county executive, allowed me to be really grounded in the major challenges of Pierce County. So not new to the challenges. And so, as you indicated, not blind to what the major adversity is that I would be walking into. I really knew that walking into this role, my major challenge was going to be about our county budget, about making sure that we have the resources, the financial resources to be able to tackle our most pressing challenges and deliver essential services for the people of Pierce County. In county government, especially ours here in Pierce County, our expenses are exceeding our revenues. Our revenues just are not keeping pace with the cost of labor and the cost of goods and services and inflation. So I knew that based on my work history here in the county, in my previous role, that balancing the budget, making sure that we have the resources to deliver essential services was going to be one of my top challenges. What became the major challenge, actually doing the job here in, week 2, 3, and 4, G, to be completely honest with you, our relationship with the federal government and the chaos of the federal government is what has turned into by far my most significant challenge. The chaos of this federal administration, the tariffs, the change in policy every other day, the outright stripping of federal funds for really core services to keep our community safe, emergency preparedness and other public safety initiatives, helping to move people off the street who are unhoused, people who need housing or other supports, food, healthcare. By far, the chaos of the federal administration has proven to be my most significant challenge.
Okay, let's stay there right now. And if you're listening right now, you're listening to the Pierce County Executive Ryan Mello here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Let's stay right there. I want to talk about the deficits that's happening right now in the threat of the withholding of federal funding and things like that. There are people right now that are listening in Pierce County, right? They're listening. I don't care about your politics. You live there. I live in Pierce County right now. Tell us what it means right now, because I don't think Pierce County was going to be operating in a deficit if the federal funds would have gotten to you guys. But now that the federal funds will potentially be withheld, tell us truly what that will mean for the people living in Pierce County and what kind of pivots that you would have to make.
Well, my morning meeting this morning was with major healthcare providers right here in Pierce County, and them sharing with me the major cuts to Medicaid being made by the federal government, how it's going to blow a $1.5 billion with a B, $1.5 billion hole in our local healthcare institutions' budgets over the next 10 years. That's real money. These are folks, providing healthcare to folks, many of them on Medicaid and Medicare, and they rely on these federal payers, the federal healthcare payer system, to fund their healthcare. So that's really significant. That's going to help. That's going to really hurt folks who are not on Medicaid and Medicare, because these healthcare systems are going to have a lot less capacity to serve. So that's a really serious issue that's being caused by the federal government. We rely on the federal government to fund resources to help women and infants who are low income, to make sure they have their basic needs met, healthcare and food. We rely on the federal government to help support affordable housing and veteran services. So there is real harm that the outright stripping of longstanding federal grants to local governments. So we're experiencing that outright stripping of grants and terminations of federal programs. Mm-hmm. And then now we're living through I think we're on day 8 of a federal shutdown. And over the coming days and weeks, if the federal shutdown continues, we're going to experience more and more harm over time of federal funds not flowing in that way, that are really critical to people's daily lives.
I'm glad you brought that up. You brought up the part about our moms and babies out here, because right now what's really in limbo is the WIC program, right? With the federal government shutdown, you have WIC, you have moms and babies that rely on the formulas. Just so you all know, I had my daughter on the show just recently talking about how expensive formulas can be. We're talking about $50-something a can. It's so serious now in the grocery stores. They are locked up behind there, so it's not like you can have access to any type of formulas. Right now, executive, with the government shut down, King County, right now they're doing a thing where they're stepping up to give vouchers to moms in potential of that happening and WIC running out. Has Pierce County looked into something like this? Is Pierce County thinking about when WIC runs out?
This is just a really significant illustration of how serious the federal shutdown is, and how we need our federal partners to come together to find a way forward to continue really essential services. I love learning from other communities, like our neighbors to the north of us, about what they're doing. We in Pierce County don't have the financial capacity that our partners in Seattle and King County do, unfortunately. But this is really serious. These are some of the most vulnerable individuals in our community, right? The folks on WIC are some of the most vulnerable in our community. So I'm really proud that in a budget that we passed this summer at the county council, we appropriated an additional $400,000 to our major food security provider here in Pierce County. We call it the Emergency Food Network. The Emergency Food Network supplies food, formula, baby formula, food of all kinds to 75 different food banks and hot meal sites throughout Pierce County. So we are a major funder of the Emergency Food Network. We rely on them mightily to provide services to the 75 food banks throughout our community. So again, we appropriated dollars before we knew there was going to be a federal shutdown and this real threat to WIC, because we were already starting to see the need rise, the number of people coming to visit food banks. So, we're going to continue to invest in our partners like Emergency Food Network, where, a lot of WIC participants will show up for service. So that's our immediate strategy to help to provide services there. But I'm going to continue to learn from our partners like Seattle and King County and see what we can do, even though we are under significant financial pressure ourselves locally. We can't possibly backfill and do the federal government's job, right? We in local government we barely have the resources to do our local responsibility. Right. I can't do the federal responsibility as well.
Well, opportunity knocks. Speaking of that, opportunity knocks in last weekend. I look here. I saw you speaking about this. I saw you reading a proclamation on Facebook. And I got to tell you, Ryan Mello, man, I saw you beam. Look at you beaming now. You beaming right now. And what I'm talking about is this is a program from PBS that follows families that are juggling debt, housing, health care. Now, tell us about your connection, why I saw you speaking, and why should the people of Pierce County know about this?
Yeah, we're thrilled about this program. We're thrilled to be the first stop on a 25-city national tour to bring these tools and this way of helping to lift families out of poverty. It started right here in Tacoma, Washington. This PBS show was founded and created by a Tacoman. Her name is Jamie Strayer. She now helps many new credit unions start up, right? Nonprofit financial institutions start up throughout the country. She's a Tacoman, and we're really proud of her. And she has this brilliant idea. And she created this PBS show to really illustrate how real families that we can all relate to, who wake up to go to work every single day, are still struggling to make ends meet and provide for their family. So it's a reality TV show called Opportunity Knocks, right? So it's on PBS. You can find it on your local PBS station or Google it and find it online. It's an award-winning PBS show. I describe it as House Hunters meets Antique Roadshow meets The United Way.
Okay.
So you can imagine the blending of all of that.
I got you.
So last weekend, again, right, we were the first stop of a 25-city tour where we took the show and made the show live, but we had 500 families come to the convention center in downtown Tacoma to experience the power of the resources you get. It's much, much more than a resource fair. It's more than just walking around and getting a bunch of brochures to one day follow up on. Folks showed up on the spot with what their financial challenge was. And they were credit unions and nonprofit partners right there on the spot, ready to problem solve with someone. So, for example, if you're stuck in a payday loan, right? These payday loans at 29, 35% interest, and people are using these payday loans to, fix their car or do something critical to help run their family budget, right? These really tough payday loans. We had credit unions there on site to transform their 29% payday loan to a low interest 3 or 4% loan on the spot. That is transformative. And those families were saving literally thousands of dollars in the moment. We had folks there to help fix people's cars, right? There's so many people who wake up, go to work every day, but can't afford maybe their car gets broken somehow. They need new tires, or car repairs are super expensive and they rely on that car to get their kids to school or get to work. They can't fix their car. We had people there on site to fix their car so they can go to get to work and get their kids to school. This is what we mean by solving problems on the spot. And these are often the root things that are causing significant financial stress on families and not allowing them to get that breathing room, that freedom to live their full potential. So there was so much. I'm just touching the surface on the kinds of real problems that were addressed on the spot. There were so many services offered to go deep with families and help move them to opportunity.
Well, there's two things you said in those examples, and both of those examples I have talked about on this show. One is the payday loan, right? That right there, that is predatory. Those payday loans, I went in for $125, and before I knew it, I was in this hole that I could not get out of. I needed help to get out of that hole. And two, the flat tire thing, I had a situation where I had some tires and some brakes that were messed up. I was out of work. I couldn't get to work. Again, I had help with that. So sometimes it's not always about working hard. Before we let you go, I got to tell you, look, man, I see you, I watch you speak and all that kind of stuff. I've interviewed you on the show. The same energy I saw in you speaking, and your whole energy change talked about this. How can you get the energy here when you're talking about people being helped with every other thing? Because this energy, tell me what I'm seeing, Ryan Mello.
The stories of helping people are really energizing to me. So this is why I do this work. I get into this work because I love when we find real solutions for real families. And it's incredibly inspiring. And it's why we wake up and move through the challenges that we're faced every day.
Pierce County Executive Ryan Mello, we're grateful for your time, brother. Good luck, and we'll get you back on the show because there's really a lot to talk about. So just so you know, I can do this for 3 hours, but I know you got to go. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thanks for having me, G. Thanks so much.
All right, take care. Okay, we got scenarios happening at 10:47, but this next topic, Chef, you know what? Chef puts topics out here that he knows is going to make me uncomfortable. You know I'm uncomfortable, right? You know that.
Very.
Okay, so I'm just warning you. This next topic, I really don't want to talk about, but I don't want to be scared and ashamed. Well, not ashamed. That's a bad word. You know what? I'll just explain it to you. Now, you got to stick around. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
As things escalate in Portland,
it looks like a war zone.
Seattle's Morning News speaks with Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown.
We've been preparing for this sort of thing from the beginning.
Live in studio.
How does your office game plan if the president were to say today, Seattle, you're next?
It's not lawful to do it in the way that the presidents do it. That is why multiple judges across the country have found it unlawful, including judges appointed by the president himself.
See the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're honored to share that the Harnish Auto family has partnered with Mobile Memo Northwest to donate on your behalf. For every test drive at any of our 6 dealerships, including Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup, or Kia and Chevy of Everett. No purchase necessary, just hop in and take a spin. Together, we can make a huge difference in the fight against breast cancer. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Searching the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
You can count on the Seattle Times for trusted local news and information. The Seattle Times is one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country right here in the Pacific Northwest. Take a closer look with the Seattle Times. Dig into investigative journalism that holds those in power accountable. Discover a new perspective. Gain a deeper understanding. Learn something new about where we live. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
During the month of October, for every new Kia we sell, Kia of Everett will donate to local breast cancer research and support programs. Let's do this. Kia of Everett, simple, easy, fun.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Israel and Hamas are a major step closer to ending their 2-year-long war, and President Donald Trump is being credited for forcing both sides to the table.
Last night, we reached a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East, something that people said was never going to be done. We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace.
President Donald Trump is at a cabinet meeting today. The Council on American Islamic Relations National Deputy Director Edward Ahmed Mitchell says the peace deal gives him hope for the Palestinian people, but says both sides have been here before.
We're cautiously optimistic while keeping in mind the fact that the Israeli government violated the last ceasefire agreement that the president helped to secure when he first took office. And then they escalated their violence by starving the people of Gaza and killing thousands more innocent people.
At that same cabinet meeting, President Donald Trump addressed day 9 of the government shutdown.
Republicans have voted repeatedly to pass a clean, nonpartisan bill to reopen our government. And remember, at the same funding levels, both parties have supported in the past.
Democrats say they need
lineup. From the all-electric EV6 to the family-ready Telluride, visit us at Kia of Everett and KiaofEverett.com.
The best drive you'll ever take is to Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real
real cash back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
This October, the Harnish Auto family is partnering up with Mobile Mammo Northwest in the fight against breast cancer. Mobile Mammo Northwest provides accessible mammograms to women across the Puget Sound, bringing early detection and care to those who need it most. For every test drive taken at a Harnish Auto family dealership, we will donate on your behalf. Join us in supporting Mobile Mammo Northwest at the Harnish Auto family, where people matter.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living, and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, and your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. Day 9 of the federal government shutdown. Republicans want to pass a clean continuing resolution to reopen the government, but Democrats are demanding money to renew health care premium subsidies. Estimates say millions of Americans will have premiums go way up if that doesn't happen. Washington Attorney General Nick Brown is leading a coalition of 24 attorneys general and governors to challenge against President Trump's deployment of the National Guard to Oregon. The group filed a brief supporting Oregon's lawsuit, arguing the move violates constitutional limits on military use in civil law enforcement. Everyone is feeling Mariners playoff fever. Seattle City Council member Bob Kettle was on Seattle's Morning News with Manda Factor to talk about government shutdown effects here, but they couldn't resist a little sports talk.
We need the Mariners to take on the Blue Jays and ALCS and make it to the World Series.
Excellent. I'll be wearing my garb tomorrow. Go Mariners.
Game 5 of the American League Divisional Series starts tomorrow at 5:08 p.m. here in Seattle. Catch all the action on our sister station, 710 Sports. Now we're going to get a check of KIRO News Radio traffic with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Jillian. Subaru of Puyallup got the update. Our biggest backup right now is actually east of Tiger Mountain Summit, eastbound 18. You're in about a 3 to 4 mile thick backup just east of the summit over to I-90. As far as I can tell, this is just volume. Most likely road work slowing you down here. Of course, we have our new normal backup northbound 167 through Pacific at the bridge strike. WashDOT just announced that this weekend they're going to get a jump on opening up a second lane for us. So this is going to shut down northbound 167 in Pacific overnight from 10 p.m. Saturday until 6 a.m. Sunday. This is weather dependent, and right now there is rain in our weekend forecast. So we will continue to monitor this and let you know of any changes. Going through Seattle, South 5, a little crowded from Northgate to the Ship Canal Bridge. Linwood to Seattle's at 20 minutes. North 5 slows briefly from the West Seattle Bridge to I-90, and eastbound 520, you're bumper to bumper from I-5 to Montlake for road work. Traffic is stressful. One thing that's always stress-free, pricing on over 300 new Subarus with easy financing at Subaru of Puyallup. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A high of 61 degrees in Seattle today. Clouds will stick around. They are thickening up tomorrow for showers that could happen around the region. High of 60 tomorrow. Chances for showers through the weekend. It's 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Appreciate you all hanging out with us. By the way, before we get to agree to disagree, thank you all for answering the text messages. You guys text in and let me know that the reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing that. And by the way, I saw it. You guys let me know that she earlier this week, she talked about her family members, right? She said that her family members were directly affected by this whole thing. It would have doubled their premiums. And so before I leave off this topic, I want to ask you this real serious question. Like seriously. Why do we have to wait for things that affect us? You see what I'm saying? Like, how come Marjorie Taylor Greene, the same one that voted against the expansion of Obamacare, who voted against, you know what I'm saying? Like, why did it have to be her family? Why couldn't it be her taking a step back and being like, hey, you know what? This would impact other people and families. You know, I have always said this, and I'll say it again. If you're somebody that is against trans folks, you're against LGBTQ, you're against anybody that's like you, but it takes you to have a grandchild or a child that is LGBTQ for you to understand. I get it. I just don't understand that. I, myself, if someone else is affected and it messes with them, then that's what should change our heart. It shouldn't have to be our family members. Marjorie Taylor Greene, it shouldn't have to be your daughters that are affected for you to come around to this. Agree to disagree. Brought to you by Garden Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Oh, the game of Monopoly is getting a brand new setting right over there across the water in Bellevue. Yes, Bellevue will be featured with specific landmarks, including Lake Washington, Bellevue Downtown Park, Whalers Cove. It'll come with unique Bellevue-themed Monopoly money. You can stroll through Bellevue Downtown Park or, experience the city's vibrant culture as you, quote, buy, sell, and trade iconic locations. Gee, is this flattering to have Monopoly take your city and make it the map?
I don't think that anybody in Bellevue that lives in Bellevue, and if you do live in Bellevue, please text us, and I don't mean to speak for you, but I'm going to speak for you. I don't think you all think this is flattering. I don't think that you all think that this is a compliment. As a matter of fact, I don't believe that anybody living in Bellevue will have a Bellevue edition of Monopoly in their home. Could you imagine going to someone's house in Bellevue and then they say, oh, you're having Thanksgiving or Christmas, like after you eat at the table, hey, let's play Monopoly. And Chef, you sit down and you play a game of Monopoly, and this family whips out a Bellevue edition of Monopoly. Nah.
There's our street.
Nah. But wait. Now that I think about it, I think that we all know someone in this way where they're just toned. They just don't get it. They don't know how to read the room, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you lived in Bellevue, would you have Bellevue Monopoly in your house?
I mean, I don't know if I'd call it flattering, but it seems appropriate. I mean, for example, like, what are your properties going to be? What's Baltic Avenue? Is that like Crossroads? Crossroads?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Good game.
Special Monopoly money. What would that mean? Like, what would be on special Bellevue-themed Monopoly money? Oh, you know what? I got it. It would be...
Braver and Bucks.
It'd be what?
Braver and Bucks.
Braver and Buck. Okay, that's good. I was going to say, like, it would just have a motif of strawberry bushes around the outside.
Okay.
Considering the fact that virtually all of downtown Bellevue is stolen strawberry farms from Japanese farmers who were interned during World War II, and a prominent local development family led the charge to kick all those people off their property. I don't know, like...
Can I just say this, though?
What?
I don't think anybody wants to play Bellevue Monopoly. However, there are other places that we would like to play. I would love to play Tacoma Monopoly. I would love that. And all my people down there, now that would be a fun game to play. You know what I'm saying? Like different areas of Monopoly. No, actually, you know what? I take that back. No. Just no. I'm not even going to make it fun. Get rid of Monopoly, period.
You know what the original name was, right? Of Monopoly? So Monopoly was created in 1903. It was a period of tough economic times. It was originally called the landlord's game.
Okay.
Now, what most Americans believe Monopoly actually is a game to show that if you work smart and you make your investments, you climb your way to the top, bootstraps yourself up.
Okay.
And everybody else just falls off the wayside. The real lesson of it was that it was a critique of greed in land monopolies, and it was to teach people that prosperity rules, right? Prosperity rules. And in Monopoly, it's all about one person. One person gets to crush everyone else and charge them ever-escalating amounts of rent because they're in control. It was actually a game that was meant to show how bad and corrupting an influence greed is in an economy.
Yeah.
But us Americans took it as like, hey, I'm just a savvy investor.
Hey, Chef, let me tell you something, man. When you brought that World War II comment, basically, into the Bellevue Monopoly, I love you, man. I just want to tell you, you got to be careful bringing you to parties. Because I can see it right now. You would be at somebody's house in Bellevue, and they would be so happy to bring out their Bellevue Monopoly. And like, oh, we're going to play this game. And they pull it out, and you reference some stuff like that you just did, and you just talk about the Japanese internment camp. And boy, the whole party would be done. They would be like, never invite that dude over again.
How many times have you heard the word redlining in the last decade? And how many times have you heard the word Strawberry Farm and Bellevue mentioned in the same sentence? I think I've seen it twice in the news. Yeah. And there's a reason for that. It's because the family that benefited from that is currently worth billions of dollars. But I think it's still as live and relevant an issue. If we're going to look at what happened in the 50s with redlining, well, we should know our Bellevue history too, and why that family has billions of dollars.
Coming up next, more of the Gee and Ursula Show.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
Is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So, do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
You can count on the Seattle Times for trusted local news and information. The Seattle Times is one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country right here in the Pacific Northwest. Take a closer look with the Seattle Times. Dig into investigative journalism that holds those in power accountable. Discover a new perspective. Gain a deeper understanding. Learn something new about where we live. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Progressive Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance might be the easiest part of owning a home. Definitely easier than this.
Psst, honey. Honey!
What?
Shh, there's a salesman walking up the driveway.
Oh no, he's got a clipboard.
What do we do?
Get down.
Down?
On the floor, you...
Shoot, did he see us?
Why are you breathing so loud?
Home ownership isn't easy, but with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, shopping for home insurance is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brad's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where batteries are as low as $89.99. Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Brad is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Buy more, save more at Dania Furniture. For a limited time, save $200 instantly for every $800 you spend in our showroom. It's the perfect way to complete your look for less or splurge on your dream piece for your living room, dining room, outdoor space, home office, or bedroom. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at daniafurniture.com.
If your commercial building is over 20,000 square feet, Washington's Clean Buildings Law not only probably applies to you, but goes into effect as soon as July of 2026. Puget Sound Energy's free Clean Buildings Accelerator is here to help. You'll get step-by-step guidance, easy energy tracking tools, ready-to-use plan templates, and a year of ongoing support. It's a simple way to save energy and lower costs. Sign up at pse.com/clean buildings.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're honored to share that the Harnish Auto family has partnered with Mobile Memo Northwest to donate on your behalf. For every test drive at any of our 6 dealerships, including Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup, or Kia and Chevy of Everett. No purchase necessary, just hop in and take a spin. Together, we can make a huge difference in the fight against breast cancer. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO Newsradio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game on October 20. Head to the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO Newsradio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It's Gee and Ursula. And you know what? After that last segment, there was a lot of folks that pulled up AI and Google and all those things. You know, I think that we have all been in situations, whether we have friends and or family. Right now, do you know of that one family member? You know the one family member that comes over and you might, maybe you don't like them, maybe you do. But it's the one family member that comes over and they tell the truth no matter what. I know who it was in my family. I know exactly who it was, and they told the truth. The thing is, they drank a lot. They drank a whole lot. And so most of the conversation about this person, it was a lot of the adults demonizing them. They're this, they're no good, and all those things. But this family member of mine was the one that would come around and tell the truth and be like, hey, you know that ain't your daddy, right? Oh, yeah. It was one of them. Like, you know how family secrets are supposed to stay family secrets, but there's that one person that comes and tells the truth. I got to tell you, the one thing that sometimes that happens on the Gee and Ursula Show, sometimes the truth comes out, and I know people, no, you can't say that. The thing is about the truth, it never expires. So no matter when you tell it, it's still the truth. Just like that scale I talk about. Chef, I step on the scale. Mm-hmm. I don't want to know the truth sometimes. So sometimes I don't even step on it. I don't step on the scale because I don't want the truth.
But if you don't step on that scale, you don't know what work you have to do.
That's true. That's true. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of, some of y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. Some of you guys said, where's G going with this? I'm going nowhere with this. I'm going to keep my job. Chef, what do you got, brother?
All right, there's just an article in Business Insider I saw this morning that caught my eye. I did not know how difficult it was for people with a net worth of multiple millions of dollars in their interpersonal life. There's this personal essay by Lane Kawoka. This is the headline. I'm just going to read that. I struggled to make and keep friends as a millionaire. Now I can only connect with other wealthy people. Yo, is that legit? Is it hard for rich people to make friends with the poors? Maintain friendships with the poors?
I don't know. I'm not rich. But if I had to take a stab at it, probably shouldn't use stab, sorry. If I had to give an opinion on it, I would say, Chef, that forget about the finances. Let's put the money away, okay, whatever that is. I think it is hard for people that are constantly thinking in a positive way all the time, even if you fail, always, okay, no problem, get back up, I'm going to try this, and keep going. It is hard for those folks to hang out with folks that's, oh, it's me, and oh, this happened again, and oh my goodness, and I'm not going to do this. And so I think, forget the money, I think it's a mentality. Sometimes it is hard to hang out with that negative mentality. Chef, I don't know, sometimes you might have that coworker or that friend that when you see their number come up and they're calling you, there's somebody in your life that when they're calling you, you know, when you answer the phone, it's going to be...
Are you saying that the poors are a bummer?
I told you to put the money out. I told you that. No, it's not the money. It's not the money. Yeah. It's the mentality sometimes. It's the mentality, not the money. It's the mentality. Like sometimes... It's not even like you can be someone who's not doing well financially and still have some go to you. I'm not saying that. All right, Chef, let's get to words to live by.
On the theme of telling the truth, this is from St. Augustine. The truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. let it loose. It will defend itself.
Hey, chef.
What's up, bro?
I'm not inviting you to any parties, playing any games of Monopoly, okay? Yeah, bro.
I'm real fun.
It's a real risk right there.
Nick, what's up, man?
Well, let's admit we've all got cases of the baseball blues, feeling ups and downs we've never had from years seen in rear view. But after all the drama, it's still all in front of us. So let's keep our heads up high without falling into a fuss. And take the chance today to take care of yourself with rest, because we'll need all of that energy we've got to take the test. Don't be doing anything foolish like Gee sending Venmo accounts to his friends. Just kick back, relax, do what makes you feel good today, all right?
Oh, good stuff, Nick.
Can I shout out to text real quick?
Yeah.
Because it's not all dark. Molly in the 425 says, as a young man, my sister-in-law's father, Delbert, farmed their Japanese neighbors' farms while they were in the internment camp, so they had something to come home to. There's always, for every person who's out there trying to take, there's always people out there trying to give.
Yo, shout out to Bruce Danmeyer. The Danmeyer family did something similar to that down in Pierce County.
Really?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Good people.
Again, though, you know what I'm saying? That's that history. And, before we go, I just want to just say this. Don't be on the wrong side of history now. Because all of these hot takes today, it's all on camera. It's all on video. It's all on text. And I would hate in years to come for people to say, look at that and what was being said at that time. Like, it would be like the person that spit on people back in the 50s and 60s, and there's pictures of you doing that. I would hate to be on the wrong side of history. That's it for me. The Jake and Spike Show are coming in next. We coming in tomorrow. It's Fresh Fridays. That's right. That's happening. Thank you, Chef. Appreciate you. Nick, thank you, brother. Come on, Fresh Fridays.
Oh, yeah.
Just a big playoff game
It's on
tomorrow.
the way. Here we go.
Hey, we appreciate you for listening. We love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
What if weight loss didn't feel like a lonely battle? What if you had a proven tool and a trusted guide by your side? At Longevity Medical Clinics, our medically supervised GLP-1 weight loss program helps you shed pounds, boost your metabolism, and feel more like yourself again. But unlike online programs that drop medication at your doorstep and disappear, we take the time to understand your body. We track your lab work, monitor your safety, and adjust your plan so your results are healthy and lasting. Because weight loss isn't one size fits all, and you deserve a program designed for your unique biology. If you're serious about losing weight and you want to do it the right way, Longevity Medical Clinic is here to help. Call Longevity Medical Clinics today at 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com for your free health analysis. Longevity Medical Clinics. Real medicine, real monitoring, real results. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, I saw that you visited the baby chicks.
I got to hold 7 of them. They were so cute.
Do you know why Wilcox chickens are so happy?
Because they get to play outside?
Yes.
Happy chickens are healthy chickens.
From our farm to your table, Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.